Yeah. Look at it. It's here. That's right. This is my review for this game. Probably the best Spider-Man game I've ever played. It really is the best Spider-Man game. I made another video about the problems in this game, the bad. This video is about the good. So, I don't even want to put it down. Look at how clean it looks. So this game is a classic. Like, everything from the swinging to the gameplay to the storyline to the characters, the character development, the good guys, the bad guys, the city, the side missions. Let's talk about this. So the swinging, remember in the first two games, meaning the first one in Miles Morales? Oh, I hope you like my shirt, by the way. So the swinging gets better in every game, basically. Like, I thought the swinging was really good in Miles, but like everything good about the swinging in those other two games, they pretty much tripled down on it. In this game, like, man, the part when in the first act, when you release your web wings, like I was standing up in my, well, I wasn't in my seat anymore, excuse me. I had to stand up, like I'm standing like 4 feet in front of the TV. I'm like, yes! It was so good. I mean, let's just talk about the swinging. The way you can, what do you call that? Like launch off of a building using those launch points. Not the point launch, but I'm talking about those areas where you can do that specifically. And you just send yourself flying throughout the city. Then you release the wings. It's like stuff like that is crazy. It's great. And the way they show the pattern that the wind is going, it kind of looks like a challenge map, right? Or like a challenge. The way you zoom through those zones, essentially you're gliding like the gargoyles at this point. You're kind of gliding like Batman in Arkham Knight. Like, it's not as clean as that gliding, but it's really clean. Like, they really blew that out of the water. Then there was some other, so now there's like exhaust fans on top of some building tops. And when you get on top of those and hit triangle, you raise up because all that air. It's like, it's just so fun, man. Like, I could talk about the city itself for 20 minutes. But the swinging is just phenomenal. It's, gosh, it's fun. It's so much fun, man. The gameplay, also incredible. Like, here's the thing about the gadgets in this game. In the first game, you kind of had to pick a certain gadget in a certain predicament depending on where you were at, what you were doing. But like in this game, you can hit any random gadget during combat and shit just starts happening. And the icons are so small, it's kind of hard for me to remember and tell which gadget is what. So I found myself just hitting like all 4 gadgets at once and stuff just explodes. It's just so much fun. Then you bounce your combo off of that. It's just crazy, man. Like, not only do you combo off your gadgets, but you combo off of the spider arms or the, I want to call them like Doc Ock arms. They're more like the Iron Spider arms, to be honest. That stuff's crazy. The symbiote stuff. Oh, dang. There's gotta be some spoilers. A lot of spoilers. So when you get the symbiote, those moves are crazy. Like, I had my prototype moments. I had my Web of Shadows moments. Like, let me talk about the rage mode or the beast mode or whatever, like, it's when you hit both thumbsticks when you have the symbiote. And Peter just goes crazy with that stuff. Like, nobody can touch you when you're in that mode. It reminds me of Wolverine in those old X-Men games. Like, that stuff is crazy, man. That stuff, man. So yeah, the gameplay is great. Combat, the whole 9 yards. Everything I said that's good about the first game, like I said, they just up it. And it's hard to say, like, how are they going to up this even more? Because you know there's going to be another game, right? It's just crazy, man. Like, let me move on. Let's talk about the costumes real quick. The costumes were incredible for the most part. I wasn't like every costume. There were some that I'm like, really? But, okay, the only costume that I really missed from the first game with Peter was that white suit for the 2099. They gave you the blue one, but I kind of missed the white one. But I love the the anti-Ox suit. I love the symbiote suits, especially the classic one. I love this one, Scarlet Spider. All those suits. You don't have as many suits as the first game, but these suits are probably more meaningful. But great costumes, the amazing suit. You get the web suit from Tobey Maguire, the web symbiote suit. I mean, it's just great, man. You even get costumes if you pre-order. I mean, it's just nuts. Okay, you can switch back and forth between characters, like not in the middle of combat, but I liked it because too, when you're fighting crime, the other character can hop in and help you out, whether it be Miles or Yuri or whoever. Good stuff, man. This was good stuff. Like the the AI was decent. It was smart, but it wasn't too smart, but it wasn't dumb either. And I like those little interactions that Peter and Miles would have after they were beating people's you-know-whats. Like, I love that, like how they would shake hands or they'd do like this or and then they saw, like, bring it in. Like, I love that type of stuff, man. That was good stuff. Let's talk about the story. This is going to take a minute. So, the story was off the chain. Like, everything from Kraven the Hunter to the Lizard to Venom to Harry Osborn and his father. I mean, Yuri was good. Everybody, for the most part, was so good. And I talked about in my other video who's not good. Mary Jane Watson. I mean, Jonah was good. Man, okay, where should I even begin, man? Y'all know the story. Y'all played the game. This is one of the best original Spider-Man stories that I've ever seen. The way they put everything together, and the way I think of this game is it's its own universe. So, like I said, they can pretty much do whatever they want. So, you might not get that traditional Venom. You might not get that traditional anti-Venom. The way things come about is a little different from what you're used to, but it's just so good, man. The way you get from point A to point B is like, wow. Like, I knew Kraven the Hunter was going to be a badass, but I just loved how he just came in and just, like, pretty much took over New York. Like, this dude came from another country, and he's posing a threat. A big threat. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was scary, man. Like, I wanted to beat his ass bad. Like, he really was menacing. Like, the first 75% of the game is, like, straight up Kraven, man. Like, and they gave him some good monologue when he talked about why he does the hunt and why it's so important to him, what this means to him. Like, I needed that stuff, man. I love that. Because the movies, they never gave Craven any justice. But he was good. Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee was on point. The Lizard. Honestly, I liked Kurt Connors more than the Lizard. Like, the Lizard did his thing. But I thought Kurt Connors was really good. Like, he was really helpful when it came to the symbiote stuff. Like, this is the best Kurt Connors I've seen in a long time. Seriously. I thought Yuri was pretty good with her new character, whatever she calls herself. Yeah, I mean, the Flame guy, I guess he just goes by the Flame. The side missions, he was good. Mysterio was good. I kind of wanted to do some Mysterio missions with Peter, but certain missions you can only do with certain characters. But yeah, all the characters. Venom, I talked about in my other video. Venom was really interesting. Like, when he was Venom, like, I loved the voice. I loved the teeth, the eyes, how he looked. He was menacing. He was big. He was nasty. He was ugly. He was a threat. He was kicking people's asses. The part when he fought Craven, I'm just like, Craven needs to sit down somewhere. And I predicted that might happen to Craven too. Like, Venom got in that ass, man. I'm like, let's go. Like, the part, this game is so great because you get to play as Venom at one point. And I think the last time you could do that, it was either Ultimate Spider-Man or Spider-Man 3. Those came out over a decade ago, but you got to play as Venom finally. That was great. It's like, I'm talking about the story right now, but the part where Miles has to fight Peter to get the symbiote off of him, that was insane. That fight was insane. The fight where Craven fights Venom, that's insane. The part where Peter fights Craven, that's insane. The part where Miles and Peter both have to fight Venom, that was pretty insane. I was a little let down. You don't really fight them in the streets like they showed in that little trailer. You're fighting somewhere else, but still, like, the story, everything from the Lizard being hunted to now Spider-Man and quote-unquote Venom being hunted, it's just, man, And it was deep, too. You had moments where, like, Miles and Peter very well could have split up, but it showed you how good of a Spider-Man Miles was. Because Miles stuck by Peter when he was going through that BS. Like, Miles was like, bro, what are you talking about? You haven't even answered my calls lately. You know what I'm saying? Because Peter was on something. But yeah. Oh, man. That game was so good. I did have a question, though. I wanted to know, where was Daredevil when all this was going on, man? And where was the Fantastic Four? I was hoping for that stuff, but they weren't there. Like, could you imagine if the Fantastic Four was there? Come on. Let's go. But yeah. Or Wolverine or somebody, Cyclops. You know what I'm saying? The end was pretty good. The Web of Shadows thing. It wasn't like as good as Web of Shadows, but they did their best to be Web of Shadows without being Web of Shadows. But it was good. Like I said, I really liked Venom. I was excited. The cinematic scenes were also really good. What made this game special was the build-up. Everything from Harry and Peter in high school to 10 plus years later. Because the end of the game happens where the beginning of the game kind of happens. But it was emotional, I ain't gonna lie. Like, oh my gosh. it really was like watching a movie. Kind of like the other two games. I mean, it was deep. Like the part when Mary Jane and Harry and Peter go to the amusement park. That was good stuff. Like, all these scenes they give us, most of these scenes have meaning, have purpose behind them. Now, I talked about in my other video, they just threw a scene or two in there just because. But for the most part, these scenes have purpose. And the side missions also were really nice, whether it be Mysterio or the Spider Bots or the Flame. The Flame, those people, they were the first person to kill me. Like, they were freaking tough. Like, before Kraven shows up. I thought they were tougher than Kraven's people a lot of the time. But who else was up in there? I said the symbiotes. But yeah. Mr. Lee. Pfft. Oh, yeah. Scorpion. I just thought it was really good how Kraven was trying to pick off the heroes / villains one by one. Because in the first game, it's been established that, you know, Scorpion is a threat. Rhino, these people. Whereas it's like Kraven was taking these people out like they were nothing, almost. And the fact that this man's doing this for fun, it just shows you how dangerous he really is. Like, Spider-Man went to a dark place in this game. I'm not even talking about the symbiote stuff. I'm talking about, like, had it not been for Miles and Mary Jane, I mean, Peter would have been in trouble. Ooh, speaking of that, I kind of liked how he wanted to use the symbiote to become a better Spider-Man, because he believed in this game that it's his fault Aunt May died in the first game. So he was trying to use that to, like, cope with his pain. And he already lost Uncle Ben, right? So Miles is telling him, it's not your fault, bro. But, like, moments like that, this game was deep. This game was deep. Okay. What would I give this game? I want you to watch my other video as to the issues it had. That's another 20 minutes. Sorry, guys. But it's still I would give it a 9.3. Maybe a 9.4. Somewhere in there. Because when you watch my other video, you'll understand why it's not perfect. Like, it's just so good, but it has those moments that are like, really, seriously? Y'all really had to do that? Y'all really gave us more of that crap? But yeah, it's a classic. Like, even with the little issues, I mean, the gadgets, like I said, the costumes, the free roam, the abilities, the skills. Man, I can talk for 20 more minutes. I want to know what you guys think. And I hope you like my shirt. And happy Halloween. Peace.